I think some listeners might wonder, oh, well, if the LSAT-Flex is easier now, our law school is going to view it differently than other test scores. But I don't think law schools care, because at the end of the day, they're not going to have to report to U.S. News and World Report whether you have a 172 flex or a 172 regular. And so at the end of the day, like, they may think in the back of their heads, oh, the flex was easier, more people are getting 172s. Doesn't matter. That's the score that they get to report for you. You're worth a 172 to them.
Maybe Yale, Stanford, Harvard.
Might consider.
I'm going to start saying them in that order, by the way. Yale, Stanford, Harvard.
Okay. How come?
Well, Harvard's not the best one. I mean, Yale and Stanford are both more selective than Harvard. So why do we say Harvard? Why do we say HYS? Why we should say YSH?
You're saying they have a higher, they're more selective. So
Yeah.
they have
Harvard has a higher acceptance rate. I mean, Harvard accepts like 11% of applicants. Yale and Stanford accept like 8% of applicants. It's not like hugely different, but I mean, it is. Yale and Stanford are harder to get into than Harvard.
Are more people applying to Harvard? Like, is there just a ton?
Harvard's a way bigger school.
Yeah.
And there are more people, and there are way more people applying to Harvard. But yeah, I mean, Yale and Stanford are both more selective. Yale and Stanford are the only two schools that accept less than 10% of their applicants. Every other law school accepts more than 10% of their applicants, including Harvard. I mean, most law schools accept, and this is like the real, what I think you were getting at. Most schools are not nearly as selective as they would lead you to believe. Most schools want to admit you.
Yeah.
So whether you took the flex or another test, they don't give a shit. Like, they're not thinking about it the way you think they're thinking about it. They're not like, ooh, 170, but it was on a flex. I don't know. If we're talking about Hastings or some other like mediocre regional school, a school like Hastings, they see the 170, you're in, period. Like, they don't give a fuck what test that was. They're just very grateful that you have a 170.
They look at those scores like money. A higher score is worth money to them because it raises their ranking, which then increases their applicant pool, and yada, yada, yada. It just, That's why they pay money for higher scores.
If you're a new listener, welcome to the show. Law school is a fucking scam. It's a business. All they care about is your money. And they will give you a scholarship if you get a good enough LSAT score. They'll let you go for free so that they can raise the prestige of their school, so that they can rip off less qualified applicants. That's the game we're playing.
Yeah, we've been playing it, Ben, for that, like, oh, I got a high score and they're admitting me because of my merit. Like, they want to reward me for my genius. No,
it's super hard to get into this. Yeah, Hastings is, oh my God, I'm so fortunate to have been admitted to this prestigious school. No, fuck that. Half the people who go to a school like Hastings never end up practicing law. Most of the people who go to Hastings come out with crushing debt. It's a fucking scam. Do not pay tuition under any circumstances. Welcome to episode 260 of the Thinking LSAT podcast. We have never stopped talking about this, and I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop saying this. Do not pay for law school. Get a scholarship, and the scholarship comes from your LSAT, and the scholarship, they don't give a shit. I mean, hey, evidence might show that people start getting, that whatever, people who took the flex don't get as much scholarship money. I'll believe that if I see it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I would be shocked. They desperately need you at their school.
Yeah.
Right. People need to flip this. This is not, I'll be lucky to get in. This is, they would be privileged to have you. And they should let you go for free. Otherwise you should not go there.
Yeah. Hey, about your hypothetical situation where people who have a flex score get lower scholarship amounts, I would argue, correlation causation here, that it's not because they applied with a flex score and then that score was valued less because it's a flex test. I would say it's valued less because there are more higher LSAT scores out there, which would ultimately water down
Yeah,
supply,
right.
right?
Which is also happening because of accommodations.